Hi, welcome back to We All Playcast, and today I'm really excited because we're going to be finally starting into our Thaumcraft here. I went back and forth a little bit on how I want to accomplish this because honestly, this is a huge mod. There is a lot to be talked about in Thaumcraft. It's pretty complicated as well, but we'll just start getting right into it. First off, I didn't feel that this factory that I had going on here didn't feel very Thaumcrafty, so I went ahead and built myself a giant tree wizardy type of place that I can do all of my magical type of things, and I think it turned out pretty cool. And yeah, I like it. So right now we don't have too much going on. Like I said, we haven't done anything in Thaumcraft yet, but we have been collecting all of these crystals, which are extremely important. So, the big question is, tons of stuff. How do you get started? Well, the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need a Crucible to start collecting something called Vis. And Vis, or Vice, or V, or whatever you ever want to say, I call it tomato. I call it Vis. It just makes the most sense to me. But we need to start collecting that. And the Crucible is one of the best things to do. So let's take a look at how to make a Crucible. Actually uses a vanilla Minecraft item called a cauldron, which is just a U-shaped in iron ingots. And one of the crystals, and it'll probably cycle through all of them, many of the crystals, and a furnace. First thing is, we'll make our cauldron. And in our cauldron, we'll put our furnace over top of it, and one of those crystals, furnace underneath it, I should say, and then one of the crystals. We'll choose one we have a lot of. Apparently, we have a lot of earthen crystals, so we'll just take those for now. Okay. Earthen crystal on the top, and wham, we got ourselves a Crucible. Okay, now the Crucible, we could just plop it down, and it's an interesting item, interesting function. Let's do right here. Alright, Crucible is an interesting item. What it does is it will take basically, well, almost any item in the game. The best way to tell is if you go over top of any item, it'll say have a smelting value, and that smelting value is what it's talking about. Now, in previous tutorials that I've seen on this, everybody's like, well, here's a diamond block, and we'll throw in a bunch of diamonds, but I'm not cheating. I don't have any of the cheat stuff, so what's the best way? What's the best thing to throw in here? And there is a nice thing on the Thaumcraft wiki, which tells you the values of any particular item. And a couple things to note is, when you see this less than 1, let's see if I can find one. There's one. Wooden planks of a smelting value of less than 1. It's not good to like throw in a bunch of cobble or dirt or something like that. But I did find this. The smelting value of a blue alloy ingot is 37, and that's pretty good, and that's a pretty realistic amount. So I'm just going to toss a couple of those in there. As you can see, they start smelting away, and that's going to create two types of liquid, which is taint and vis. Vis is the good stuff that we're going to be using right off the bat, and taint is the bad stuff that we still can use for some interesting, nice things. Alright, the second thing, and probably the most pivotal, is we need to make what's called a Thaumic Infuser. Alright, so let's take I spelled it wrong. Thaumic Infuser. Alright, let's take a look at the recipe for that. Thaumic Infuser takes a stone slab, looks like any crystal, 3 stone across the bottom, and some iron ingots. So let's first start off with our stone slab. I do believe I grabbed some stone. And a stone slab is 3 stone across the top. We'll make, well, we're going to make 6 because that's all we can make. We'll put 1 here, stone across the bottom, our iron, and what was that? Oh, any crystal. So we'll use another earthen crystal here. And bam, Thaumic Infuser. Alright, now we can start to do some Thaumcraft stuff. I'm going to place it right down here, and what that'll do is that'll take and use the Vis that is in here for the Thaumic Infuser. It has a nice interface, but essentially, let's just think about it as the Thaumcraft crafting table. Alright, or we'll call it the light, like the goodness crafting table, because there's a darkness one too. Alright, so on the goodness crafting table, we could talk about enchantment wood. We do need a lot of that, but I'm not even going to mess around with that. I'm going to start off with one of the coolest items, and truthfully, spoils the crap out of me. Boots of Striding. You don't have to do any research for this. You just have to make them. So let's see what it takes. It takes a feather, it takes some leather boots, and an earthen crystal. We got plenty of earthen crystals. We'll throw that in here. There's some leather boots, and I need to grab a feather. Put a feather in there, and as you can see, it has like a progress bar here. And it will make my Boots of Striding. Okay, Boots of Striding. Let's put these on. We'll say goodbye, rubber boots, and you can kind of see that I moved around a little bit, and this is just normal speed. I'm not even sprinting. This thing is going, I jump 2 blocks high, I run super, super fast, and one of my favorites is I don't have to jump over a single block anymore. I just run right over top of it. How awesome is that? You don't have to do any research for it. All you have to do is just simply make a Thaumic Infuser, get yourself a little bit of Vis, and instantly, boots are striding. And from this point forward, I am totally spoiled. And you can see I jump a little bit higher. There are ways to upgrade this. So, there we go. Okay, so that's one of the first items I like to make. Spoil yourself away. It's always nice and fun to get a little bit spoiled. Okay, well, let's talk about some more essentials here. Alright, there's only so much that can go into this tank, and eventually it's going to fill up. Once we use all the Vis into here, it's going to fill up, and it's going to just be completely filled with taint, and it's going to be completely unusable. Also, it's always nice to have a way to store your Vis somewhere. So, one of the things we're going to need is called enchantment wood. So let's take a look at the preliminary recipes of what we need to do. Alright, instead of it being glass, like you think of Buildcraft pipes, all the Thaumcraft stuff uses glass planes. So we make those by this recipe. So I'm going to go ahead and make just a stack because we're just going to need a ton of them. So make some glass planes. And the next thing we're going to get into is to make some enchantment wood. So let's take a look at the enchantment wood recipe. Alright, enchantment wood. What we do for enchantment wood is we put any wood, and this is made in the Thaumic Infuser, is we can make any type of wood, and the best one is probably, well, actually the best one for sure is the great wood tree, I believe it's called. And I think I have one really close by. Here's one right over here. So I'll go ahead and fly over this way, and we're just going to grab one. I didn't bring in my axe unless I put it in my alchemical bag. We'll see. Did I put it in here? Yeah, I did. Look at Mr. Smart Guy. Alright, so we'll grab our axe, and we're going to grab some of this great wood. And as you notice, this doesn't behave like other trees. I can't just chop it all down at once. So I'm just going to grab a few of these, because, to be honest, the crystals are the things that are in short supply. So we don't want to waste any crystals. Alright, so I grabbed some of the great wood logs. I believe that's what it's called. Great wood log. And what we're going to simply do is put our great wood log and our great wood log and a crystal of any type in our Thaumic Infuser. And there it goes. It's making some enchanted wood. Okay. And as you can see, it's stopped. And the reason it's stopped is because we're out of Vis. All we have left is taint, and it's a darker purple color. Alright, so now that we have our enchanted wood, we can start crafting some different things. The first one is going to be this recipe. As you can see, oops. That's going to make a Vis storage tank, which was enchanted wood around the edges, and glass planes in like a plus sign. Alright, and that makes that, and we need our Vis Conduit, which is basically like our piping for Thaumcraft, and that is made by a very similar recipe with wood around the outside instead of enchanted wood, and redstone in the center. Of course, I didn't grab any redstone. If you've seen all my videos, I'm always missing something. So let me grab some redstone real quick. And I think that was all I really needed. Maybe grab a couple logs out of here, just in case. Whee! Alright. So here we go. We're going to make some piping. We're just going to need a lot of this, so I'm just going to make as much as I can here. So put this in here, and boom. 64. That should be plenty. And we might as well, while we're at it, make a couple more tanks because we want to store as much Vis as possible. So I'll make a couple more of these. It looks like we just have enough for one. Okay. And this stuff is pretty simple. I'm going to go ahead and break my Thaumic Infuser for now. And we'll be using that a little bit later. Oh, I feel so quick. Zip, zippity, zip. Okay, Thaumic Infuser. Or not Thaumic Infuser, but our Vis piping. I'm going to put it right next to this. And I'm going to go ahead and put our storage tank right on the edge. And as far as I know, this works the same way as our Buildcrafts, meaning that I can stack them and it will fill that up. Now it's going to start pumping in all this taint over here, which we don't really want, but it's kind of unavoidable at the moment. Alright, I'm going to throw a few more of these blue alloy ingots in here. It should make us a good amount of Vis. Oh yeah, look at that thing go up. Those are great. Those are perfect. All right, and then we're going to pipe out a little bit farther to our Thaumic Infuser this way. And the way that it works is it's kind of an on-demand system, meaning you don't need to have any kind of pumps or anything. It will just go here if it needs it. So, for instance, if I put in some more of the great wood log, and I put in another crystal for us, it will start pulling up all the good vis from the tank, and it will leave all the taint in there, which is not necessarily a good thing, but kind of unavoidable for now. I'm going to do this because, again, vis is our big currency right now. Okay, and that made a few great wood, enchanted wood for the great wood log. And one thing to note is from the great wood logs, you receive 5 enchantment wood for each one, whereas if I would use regular wood, it would only give me 4. And like I said, those crystals are a very, very good commodity, so we don't want to lose them. We want to use them for their fullest capability. All right, I'm going to go put my blue alloy ingots here, and as you can see, we got a good starting system for a way to craft things in Thaumcraft. And the next thing that we need to do is we need a way to take care of all this taint, because the taint is a bad thing. Once we get our auras up there, it's pretty bad. All right, so let's take a look at the Vis Filter. All right, it takes something called alumentum. Alumentum, and if you notice, that is a Thaumic Infuser recipe. It takes redstone and charcoal. Alright, and in our Thaumic Infuser, we're going to put our charcoal, and we're going to put some redstone. And that will make our alumentium. Zip, zip. Alright, we've got 2 of those. We're going to need them for, oh well, a lot of things. Alright, so that's alumentum. Alright, now the next thing with the Vis Filter is we need Vis Conduit. And as you can see, this is shape crafting. This is a regular crafting table recipe. Some enchanted wood, conduit, and iron ingots. Alright, we have some enchanted wood. Put that in the corners. And we will put, where's our conduit? I know we made a ton of it. Alumentum. And I believe it was just iron like this. Excellent. And we get our Vis Filter. Now for our Vis Filter, I'm just going to put it in the system here. Wow, do you jump high. Did everybody see that? That was awesome. I'm going to put this right here. And what this does is it's going to find any taint in the system and start spewing out into the aura here. And the aura, I haven't mentioned before, is basically the magical realm around you. It has some positive and negative effects in a measurable way, which we'll get to in a future episode. Alright, so this is our basic system. As you can see, we made our boots of striding, which are awesome, and you'd be completely spoiled. And they were very simple to make. No research required. Nothing. It's just all you need is a Thaumic Infuser and a little bit of Vis, and you can make those boots. Alright, so we got this system. We got this cleaning out the taint from here. And that's a pretty good start to our episode here. And that's a great way to get started in Thaumcraft. Another thing to note is I was using blue alloy ingots, which are made in a alloy furnace. And they're pretty simple to make. It's also one of the things you need for all that nicolite you've been mining up. You don't need a ton of blue electric power stuff, but we want to use it for something. Here it is, Thaumcraft. Perfect way to get a lot of Vis with using that our nicolite. All right, so we'll call the episode there. Remember to like it if you like it, and please subscribe. And once again, I will be saving the world at this point. Actually, I'm going to walk in the house, and I'm going to do that right now. And we'll be putting that for download, and the download link will be in the description. Until next time, thank you.